Shut up. Good morning. Good morning. How are we all?
Okay. Alive and kicking.
Okie dokie.
Wow, we've got some resounding. Let's see, we've got okie dokie, alive and kicking, and okay. Boy, you were a fabulous bunch. Nobody there went, I am fucking fabulous. I am just amazing.
That would be you.
No, I don't feel fucking fabulous today.
It's the time, my dear. And how's your cough doing?
It's, you know what? It's slowly getting a lot better. I found a really cool herbal concoction.
Mhm.
And I remembered that I used to always take, if I got a cough, I would take a herbal thing. I do homeopathy and herbal. I mean, but seriously, fuck man, pardon my language, but that my ass, because broke the ribs.
Mhm.
And then housemate brought back some lurgy. So then huge coughing with broken ribs. Just start to get over that, and he brings another one. And I'm like, dude, are you fucking trying to kill me or something? Like,
Yeah.
and then his girlfriend comes over a couple of times, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? I think I have the flu. Then why are you here? Go fucking home, man.
Here.
Sorry. But yeah, and I can have a tendency to catastrophize. So then it was like, oh my God, I have lung cancer. That's what it is. I, you know, Now, trust me, I can go down
Yeah.
that rabbit hole really fast, man.
No, I had a friend in junior high school. She would get a headache and say, "Oh my God, I have a brain tumor." She was from New York and she had this really thick accent. It was the funniest thing ever.
But yeah, I was like, oh my God, I should get another chest X-ray. And I mean, I've had 4 since November, so it's not like anything would have rapidly developed.
Oh God, you don't need another chest X-ray. That's a lot of radiation. Stop
I
it.
know, but they had to do that because of
I
all
know.
the internal bleeding.
Yeah.
And even my doctor is still fascinated that not one bruise, break 3 ribs and not one bruise at
Wow.
all. And
That
she's
is
like,
amazing.
That's pretty
yeah,
incredible.
I know. Well, I think all the blood was happening on the inside. That was the issue.
Oh
Hence
no.
why they wanted to drill my chest. But anyhow, yeah. So I found a herbal thing, basically, is the total ADHD brain way of saying. I found a really good herbal thing. I've started taking that. It's made it so that I can sleep a bit better at night and is
Mhm.
easing everything out, which is
Yeah, I was building your formula in my head. Yeah.
good. Well,
Yeah.
should have sent it, damn it.
And no, 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 no. Sending these things across borders is not generally a really good idea. Even state lines, it's questionable. They'll come
Yeah,
after me.
Sorry,
exactly.
Jenny, you'll have to take a trip down to see Andrea.
I think that would be a lovely idea. I think we're going to plan that, aren't we? We should do that and go
Yes,
see
we are planning that.
Dana and go see Andrea and go find a hagstone. And yeah,
Yeah, that
That'd be
was so cool that you found one, Dana.
yeah,
would be wonderful. It was a complete surprise and a true delight.
that was very cool. I'm like, in the very nicest
Delayed is not denied.
way.
There you go.
So here we are, the Great Witch of Brittany. Bum, 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 bum. I enjoyed it. Anyhow, who would like to start us off?
I enjoyed it as well. It was actually perfectly timed, because I didn't start it until we got back on the mainland. And what I enjoyed the most about it was, as I was reading it, there would be comments, or there would be passages that really spoke to me, like stop trying and have faith. And the whole concept of magic, which to me is orchestrated flow, I guess, is how I got it. I enjoyed the couplets of the spells, and it was a really good book to kind of curl up and read on a rainy day, and or which it seemed like it was perpetually raining when I got home, and very, very cold.
Mm.
The interesting thing I found too was that in all of the magic and the spells and everything, there was a cost to be paid.
Mm.
I mean, I kind of understand the concept behind that. I mean, not only to avoid narcissism, but the balance of energy and nature and all that kind of thing. Also as a cautionary tale, magic is not for the weak-willed. There's a certain courage that's needed to and be responsible and assume and direct. But that was the part that still I'm kind of mulling over a little bit. It's like, okay, I get that if you move with universal assistance, you move the needle forward or in a direction that you desire. Why do you have to lose something in doing that? That's sort of my conundrum with the whole concept. Maybe if it's something that's for you personally as opposed to universally. I don't know, that's kind of where I'm sitting with this whole series. And I did read the next book as well and enjoyed it. I mean, I'm enjoying them thoroughly, but it's really making me kind of think about tension and how much assertion and or direction and leadership is permitted or allowed without some kind of backlash. I don't get that. Maybe someone illuminate me.
The way that I took it when there is a price to be paid, for me, the way I saw it from her point of view was that she was it was selfish. It was done for selfish reasons. The magic was done for selfish reasons. That's the way I was seeing what she was doing. Those little voices saying, that price needed to be paid. When it is selfish, when it isn't selfish, the magic comes in very freely. I think that's the way I took it in the book.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was how I took it. Like, I'm looking at that phrase, the goddess always exacts her price. And the way I interpreted it was, if the spell was done or the magic was brought in for the best and highest good to benefit, then that was good. But if it was done out of a controlling, manipulative, trying to have power over, then there would be a price to pay.
Okay, well, that makes sense to me. I mean, maybe where I got off track was, at the when she was doing the cloud for everybody to find them from the witch hunters, and then she died. Happy coincidence, or was that?
No, but if you remember during the book, she kept saying, it was implied that even from when she was super young, she wanted to be back in that spot, and that was where she wanted to die and be buried in between the stones, right?
I missed that completely.
Yeah,
That makes
and
sense.
so to me, that made total sense that, she was aged and drama had gone, right? And she was ready to pass on. She had been training all the others, so she was passing it on. And, to be able to cast that final spell to protect family and allow them to, be safe, and then to die in where she wanted to. I think that was a very poignant choice.
Gotcha.
That was my.
I missed that the connection between the beginning and that's where she wanted her end to be. But I have to admit, I was kind of reading quickly in the beginning because I wanted to get through everything. So totally own that I missed it.
Andrea, what about you, darling?
I loved it. I loved
Mm.
both of the books. They were really good. Made me think a lot, and a lot of what they were, a lot of what she was doing seemed to me to be very sort of natural magic. It wasn't the kind of thing where, like, changing the weather. There's a little bit of that, but there wasn't a lot of um charms for people that needed to have more money, or
Mhm.
this kind of stuff. And there was a lot of that, at the beginning with her mom, but it it was interesting the way the road went for her, I thought. I took, like, I do them on Kindle, and I sort of grab notes. It was like I realized I had 4 pages. There's like 4 pages of notes. Oh my God. It's like, well, yeah, remember the past, live in the present, the future will come when it's time. They had lots of neat little sayings throughout without it being preachy at all,
Mhm.
too, which I appreciated. Um, lots of um just lots of the stuff that I connected with really nice, which it kind of surprised me. I love the way the author uses the familiars
Me too.
throughout. You don't get a lot of that without it being kind of cartoony. And this one, really, she doesn't. She doesn't make it cartoony at
Mhm.
all, or creepy. You know, that was another thing I appreciated, was the lack of creepy.
Good, good.
Good.
Trudy, as you cough up a herbal.
Yeah. I feel like I'm catching a cold. Um, I love the books. They were good. I I liked The Great Witch of Brittany. Everything that you guys have said so far. Um, I didn't take notes, so
That's just me. I'm a geek. Okay.
I know, but I have a feeling Jenny took notes, and I think everybody else took notes. No,
You'll-
I did. I loved the journey from, thinking that the clans would, magic had died out, to being the Great Witch. It was very interesting to see the spin on when they get back um to the Romani at the end, and they're all very suspect of her because the story of this witch blew up, so to speak, and totally made her into something that she wasn't. How the stories changed as, the stories are woven around the fire. And to come back to that, and they're scared of her. And I was really interested, it was interesting to see that, just from a psychological point of view, how things can change when you're gone. But no, I love the spells, and I love it's very organically written, I feel like. It was good. I loved the familiars, and yeah, no, it was a very good book. And she wrote this after
Mhm.
The Secret History of Witches, and you need to read it first. So it feels better to read it first and then understand the second one, because I started the second one and it didn't make sense to me. Like, I started it a long time ago. I've had it for a while, and it didn't flow properly. But when reading this one, makes sense now. But yeah, no, enjoyed it. Played it.
I liked how they kept saying about when somebody is fearful that they become dangerous,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
you know, and it really made me go, wow, look at our culture, you know, and how we can see that play out when people are fearful or judging, then they do become dangerous because they want to either eliminate it or control it. Um, I I I had The Secret History of Witches about 5 years ago, but I had it on Audible. And whether it was whoever was reading it or whatever, I could not get into it. And so to read, because they kept referencing Ursule, and I'm like, who the heck is Ursule? And so then to read this one and really get a, the feel of who she was and the flavor of who she was, then I went, I can't do an Audible of, I don't normally ever do fiction audibly. So then when I started this one, it made this make sense.
Yeah.
You know, but I really I organic, yeah. You know, it's very nature based, it's not fluffy, you know,
Yeah.
and that whole thing too in that era of um, you know, with the daughter having daughters and the husband being disappointed that they were all daughters, and she casts a cantrip to reduce his lust because that will kill her daughter, you know. And but looking at that and going, yeah, right, women really didn't have any value other than what they could breed,
Yeah. Hmm.
you know. So I thoroughly enjoyed it, you know. And the fact that um it goes down, it's matriarchal, right? Goes down through the feminine line, the female line,
Mm-hmm.
you know, which I enjoyed. And that it didn't hit every generation. So
No.
yeah, made me reach out to my daughter and go, you realize you're a dragon. Your nanny's a dragon, and your great grandmother's a dragon, and your auntie's a dragon, and all you're a dragon, and this is a dragon year. Yeah, trying to pass down some wisdom. And then I
Gotta
think
get there.
I don't know. And then I think I freaked her out because we normally talk kind of at least once every other day, you know, first thing in the morning. And I didn't phone her one day. And when we finally talked, she's like, you didn't phone. I said, well, the phone works both ways. You could have picked it up as well, you know. And then I said something about, well, one day you will miss these. And she's like, what do you mean? And I said, well, I'll be dead. She's like, oh my God, it's 7 in the morning. And I said, I'm trying to share stuff with you now so that all the questions you have or anything I can impart, you've got before I leave this. She's like, can you stop? I haven't had my breakfast. Yeah, you know. So yeah, and okay, in comparison, if we're bringing up both, which was your preferred? Or
Oh, I
did you?
think the Great Witch flowed better
Mhm.
Yeah.
because it wasn't, multiple people and there was more, I felt like there was a lot more embroidery there and less dress. You know what I mean? It's like, there was just more detail and I feel like the author kind of hit her stride with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She was capitalizing on what she did really well, which was tell a story of this amazing human. And she did that for each of the other ones, but I felt like she stopped herself here and there
Yeah.
because she needed to get to the next person.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I also liked the character better.
I did too.
Yeah, I just felt she was more, I wouldn't say she was relatable. She was just more fleshed out and nicer in some respects. She was a lot more giving of a person, and all that. Some of the other, witches were kind of, I don't know.
Yes.
One of the daughters, remember I posted that? I can't remember which daughter it was, and I went, she's a bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, the one that refused to do
Irene,
any work.
Irene,
Yeah, Irene, I think.
yeah,
And
Yeah,
then
she
she
was.
entrapped a man to marry her.
Well, they all did. I
You
mean,
know,
they all did something of that nature. They just used men for what they needed, and it wasn't that they were cruel about it always, but I mean, it was very
focused.
certainly a flip of what a lot of our society does.
well, and it was interesting because Judy and I went, was it back in November? We went to see, it was a play called Yaga,
Yeah, that was
and,
November.
and it was phenomenally well done. And it was an interpretation of Baba Yaga and how it gets handed down to the daughter, and how the Yaga picks her man to impregnate her, to get a daughter. And she picks a very specific man and to get her daughter, and then kills the man. Like he has no purpose after that. And it was
Sort of
very
like a
much
spider.
it was a phenomenal play, but it kind of reminded me of that a little bit, But yeah.
Yeah, I like the second book. I like them both. And one, the great witch seemed to be the foundation for the others. I kept and reading it the other way around. But what I liked about the second book was that it was like, okay, you're handed down this gift. How will you use it? And everybody did it in conjunction with their personality, perhaps soul path. I mean, everybody did something. That the commonality was everybody seemed to have a hard time finding a partner. But each person used it. I mean, I don't know, I can't really say necessarily they all embraced it in different ways. And I found that to be really interesting. I mean, the other book was obviously, what Andrea and you've all saying, very well written, very well fleshed out. But it's like, okay, you're a part of this line. And I have to admit, I love the Queen Elizabeth part in the end. I was like,
Same.
that very cool.
Yeah.
And
That was very cool. It was a nice touch. Yeah, no, I liked it. I mean, Secret History, I liked it, but I think, I think it was just that it was a little more chopped up because it was the line, and I appreciate that she didn't try and make that into each person an individual book. That would have been way too much. So that
You'll be reading forever.
yeah.
Right.
Well, sort of
Oh my
like
God.
what is that Outlander?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I started that one. I was like, oh my God. After the third one, I'm like, I cannot keep doing this.
No. So, and it was interesting because kind of like when we did the Terry Pratchett one, I went a bit down the rabbit hole. And
Age of Witches.
The Age of Witches and The Witch's Kind, by the same author. I will say The Witch's Kind, I was not thrilled with, to be honest. It was like not as well written as Secret History or the Great. This one, I'm about to go read it a second time because it was very, very good.
Very
So,
cool.
I just started reading The Witch's Kind, so I don't know.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be curious to see what your interpretation is. I mean, it's interesting. Don't get me wrong, it is. Yeah, I'll just leave it there.
I'll enjoy. Do you want to do the other book for our next one? Because that one's kind of Yeah.
I am open to whatever. And the other one that was on the table was that one,
Which
but that
one?
not by the same author though.
Oh yeah,
And
that's the one. Yeah.
and it was good. That one was good.
Mhm.
It was interesting. It was kind of bizarrely quirky in a way. But I am open, as you see, since Christmas I've read 10 books. So I'm like, I am open to whatever. But I think people would enjoy this one.
Okay.
Okay,
Fine with me.
that
Yeah.
sounds
Yeah.
good. Yep, that sounds
Okay.
good.
We command you in this hour, bow before our greater power, which is two to which is one, order your spell to be undone.
Ooh.
Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun.
Makes you kind of want to be a powerful witch.
Powerful bitch. I'm already a powerful bitch.
Powerful witch.
Oh, yes, yes. I got that letter wrong when they were handing it.
Yes, no, no.
You know. But yeah, and I do like the cantrips. And there's one in this book, which I found myself saying the other night when I was out in the dark. And it was really it was it felt really good to say it. It just like made me feel good. There we go. You'll encounter it. But yes, let's do this one. I'll reread it. It's so good.
Okay.
So
When do you want to do it for the end of February?
I know that's what I was going to say. So witches, when shall we meet again? With sun, with moon, with earth, with fire. I call upon you on this earth. Sorry, that's all I got. It is 8:58 in the morning. I think that's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Okay, so where are we now? It's the end of January.
Yeah.
This month
Yes.
has gone.
Yeah, it did it again.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the calendar.
February 27th.
26th, 27th?
Okay.
Yeah, 27th, the Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
thought
if we
we
do 8:30, that would be great.
Yeah, I thought we were about to burst into song there, Dana.
Um, You first, Jenny.
Honey, I don't think your ears would like to hear that very much, actually. They may start to bleed.
Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me.
Oh, come on, Andrea. Come on. Show tunes. Show tunes.
No tunes and jazz hands.
The only thing that comes to me is a song. I mean, instantly, one of the songs I sang as a rose in a children's play, and you don't want to hear.
Oh, now we do. Come on, you got to give us a couple of lines. Come on.
It's been too long and it's too early. No.
Okay. We will hold you to that till next time.
I
Andrea
might
will,
lead with that next time, but no,
yeah,
not right
Andrea
now.
will open our book club on February 27th with the Song of the Rose.
We look
Okay,
forward.
yeah, right. I'll bring like cookies. We can have a theater show.
Only if the rest of you join in. I'm not doing it on my own.
Well, then you'd have to give us the lyrics prior so that we could practice in the shower.
Oh, just sing whatever you want. It's a children's show. They don't care. As long as they can hear you and understand you, you can be off key. Children don't care.
They really don't. I remember being in a children's play. I think I was 5. I was a roller skating tree,
Yeah.
and I had to
Those
sing
are
and
the kind
roller
of shows
skate.
I did too, hon.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it's like, and now when I go to kids' concerts, I'm like, you know, so there was a TikTok where they're like, one chap was portraying all the kids that would be in a play, there's the keynote or the greeter who's, you know, doing that role. And then there's the shy one who's like, and he played all these different kids and it was perfect.
Oh,
Perfect.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So, okay, my darlings, see you next month. It's been wonderful to see your amazing faces.
Yes,
True.
yours as well.
been
Good
good
to
to
hear
see
you're
you.
not coughing.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
doing my best. I've been sucking back. Oh, I'll tell you my one fiasco very quickly. So I did a wedding on December 30th, and at this beautiful Victorian mansion. And it was an older couple getting married, second time marriage. They both lost their partners. And they had wanted this part, we had created in the ceremony what's called a unity candle. So they would each have a candle and then they would light the one candle together whilst things were being said. Well, it turned out that Goward House actually has a fire policy, which does not like having lit candles moving around. So we had to have them on the mantelpiece, which was a foot behind my head. And so anyhow, I get there early as I always do, and I'm chatting to the bride and groom, and they changed all sorts of things at the very last minute. So I'm quickly like, okay, yeah, we can do that. And then they mentioned that one of their granddaughters was coming, but she was going to be wearing a mask. And I went, oh, how come? Well, she has a cough. And I'm like, And there are some elderly people here, and we don't want anybody getting sick. And I'm like, do not cough, Jen. So of course that makes me more anxious. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, And they went, maybe we should light these tapers, which were going to be right behind my head now before the ceremony. Thank God we did it before the ceremony. So I light them, and they are so scented. You know, those ones that are like cloying and they go down the back of your throat. So I light them, take a deep breath in, and then I start coughing, and I could not, like, I had tears running down my face. I had to leave and go round to the coat room, and I'm like, I really hope I have something in my pocket, like a zinc lozenge or something. And I'm frantically ripping apart my pockets in the cloakroom. I find the cough lozenge that's been in there for over a year, that has kind of partially come open. It's now covered in dog hair and dried sardines.
Oh,
No.
And I'm like, I just have to. Oh. And then of course the ceremony's starting in like 2 minutes. This is calming down, thank goodness. But I've got this thing in my mouth. So I go dashing into the kitchen, and there are these two lovely people who are going to be catering the reception. I'm like, do you happen to have a piece of saran wrap? And they're like, and I said, just a little bit of saran wrap, please. So he rips off a piece because it was covering the sandwiches, and just as I'm about to put it to my mouth because I have a nut allergy, I'm like, "What kind of sandwiches? Do you have it?" And he's like, "Yeah." What happened? Oh my giddy aunt! Note to self: I am now going to carry my own candles. I am always going to have cough lozenges, because that was a shit show. I mean, the wedding, it didn't impact the wedding at all. It was a beautiful, beautiful ceremony, and they loved it. But trying to, thank God I wore waterproof mascara. Otherwise, it would have been like, Le Panda is here to marry you.
it's the behind the scenes.
Exactly. It's the shit shows that happen to make this look all presentable.
And
So,
the lemons.
right. And I will tell you, 1-year-old dried sardines, they're not too bad.
I'll
When
take your
mixed,
word.
when mixed with elderberry, not bad at all.
Good to know.
Okay, my darlings. Oh, jazz hands. Jazz hands.
Wait. Oh, gotta put you.
Okay, see you soon. Take good care.
Bye.
You
Bye.
too. Bye bye.